Blake, I told you, girl, the call is coming from inside the fucking house. Pick up. Ryan Reynolds is saying he doesn't need to be here. He didn't ask for this. He doesn't have shit to do with it. Then being a supportive spouse who has witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered. So y'all are broke. If y'all are broke, just say that. Just say you can't pay these lawyers. I know it ain't cheap. Paying lawyer fees for 3 months. You truly believe you don't have nothing to do with this? Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were going to get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're going to stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever.
The ongoing drama involving Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni shows no signs of slowing down. Just when it seems like the chaos might settle, new developments erupt, making the situation even more unpredictable. Ryan Reynolds has consistently presented himself as the devoted husband, standing firmly by Blake's side and praising her for defending herself against mounting controversy. This public image painted him as unwaveringly supportive, a husband who always has his wife's back. However, recent rumors suggest that this narrative might not tell the whole story. Sources claim a new video is circulating in which Blake allegedly pressures Ryan to publicly declare his support for her. According to these reports, she believed this would help protect her reputation, especially amid Justin Baldoni's recent revelations about her actions. If this video is genuine, it could completely shift public perception of their relationship. Questions may arise about how voluntary Ryan's support truly was, and whether the perfect husband image we've seen was, at least in part, orchestrated for the cameras.
Should get those by the end of next week. And now, of course, from Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, we heard a little bit about their plan, too. He talked about how they want this case moving forward as quickly as...
Ryan Reynolds, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, has long enjoyed widespread admiration. It seems Blake may have relied on some of that public goodwill to bolster her image during the ongoing controversy. However, the situation now appears to be taking a toll on Ryan, as reports indicate he has filed a motion to remove himself entirely from the lawsuit. Interestingly, he isn't seeking to dismiss the case or have it thrown out. He simply wants to step back, suggesting he may be exhausted from feeling pressured into defending Blake publicly. This move raises major questions. Was Justin Baldoni truly innocent all along? And has Ryan been shielding Blake from scrutiny? With tensions escalating and public attention intensifying, the drama is far from over. Fans and insiders alike are left speculating about what will happen next and how these revelations might reshape perceptions of both Ryan and Blake.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds stepped out for the first time since all the drama to the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary. At the end of the day, this is all for PR.
A film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable.
Okay.
Is Ryan Reynolds...
Mean. Like he's Canadian.
You punch a couple hundred orphans and suddenly you're mean. I don't...
As previously mentioned, Ryan Reynolds has consistently stood firmly by Blake's side throughout this entire controversy. So it came as a shock when news broke that he now wants out of the lawsuit entirely. Not only does he wish to step back, but he is taking formal action, filing a motion with the court to remove himself completely. Ryan claims the case has nothing to do with him and argues that Justin Baldoni should never have included him in the first place. For context, Ryan's involvement stemmed from comments and jokes directed at Justin in films like Deadpool and Wolverine, which inadvertently pulled him into the legal storm surrounding Blake. This development adds yet another twist to an already tangled situation, leaving fans questioning just how deep Ryan's role in the controversy truly went.
Has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, he's used it on Deadpool to make fun of Justin Baldoni?
Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist.
Justin Baldoni claimed that the character Nice Pool, introduced at the end of Deadpool vs. Wolverine, was created specifically to mock him, drawing Marvel, Disney, and Ryan Reynolds into the ongoing lawsuit. According to reports, attorney Brian Friedman sent a formal legal letter to Marvel CEO Kevin Feige and Disney CEO Bob Iger, alleging that Reynolds had directly targeted Baldoni through the Nice Pool character. In the scene, Reynolds' Deadpool variant delivers lines such as, "Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?" while also praising Lady Deadpool for snapping back after having a baby and making remarks about feminism. Baldoni reportedly interpreted this scene as a deliberate jab at him, viewing it as a critique of his public promotion of feminist ideals during the It Ends With Us promotions. Friedman's letter demanded that Disney and Marvel preserve all documents that might reflect any attempt to mock, harass, ridicule, intimidate, or bully Baldoni through the character of Nice Pool. The case has even hinted at potential claims such as interference with contracts and civil extortion. In his court filing, Ryan Reynolds did not deny that he had taken jabs at Justin Baldoni, but he argued that Baldoni's reaction to a satirical movie character was overly sensitive and lacked any legitimate legal basis. An insider revealed that Baldoni's legal team plans to scrutinize the Deadpool films in detail, including their funding, as well as the actors and producers who may have been aware of the alleged bullying during production. Since Reynolds did not dispute that the Nice Pool character was inspired by Baldoni, the scope of the lawsuit could expand significantly. Baldoni's lawyers may attempt to show that he was the target of a coordinated attack, dragging not only Reynolds but also Hugh Jackman, the directors, producers, and Disney into the legal storm. Despite acknowledging that the character was based on Baldoni, Ryan now seeks to remove himself from the case entirely, signaling a dramatic shift in his involvement and raising questions about how far this legal battle will go and who will ultimately be held accountable. According to reports, Ryan Reynolds described himself as a supportive spouse who had witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial toll Blake Lively endured during the controversy. An insider added that Ryan claimed Baldoni was attempting to shame him for being confident enough to stand by his wife. His legal team also maintained that Ryan's statements about Justin being a predator did not constitute defamation, as he genuinely believed them to be true. The court documents noted that the first amended complaint contained no plausible facts suggesting that Reynolds did not hold this belief, meaning Justin's defamation claims appeared to lack merit. However, Justin's lawyer dismissed Ryan's motion, arguing that Reynolds' influence in Hollywood had been exploited to harm Baldoni. This allegedly included attempts to pressure WME into dropping him as a client and other efforts to undermine his career. Reports claim that Reynolds' involvement has been evident from the start of the smear campaign, and that his framing of serious allegations as mere hurt feelings sends a concerning message about accountability. Fans have increasingly criticized Ryan for this approach, questioning whether his public image as the supportive husband aligns with the actions reportedly taken behind the scenes. Ryan's motion to dismiss comes amid rumors that his involvement in the lawsuit was largely influenced by Blake pressuring him to publicly support her, believing it would strengthen her image. Evidence cited includes a text she reportedly sent to Justin in which she compared herself to Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or for worse, but usually for the better because my dragons protect those I fight for, and you will too. This message suggests that Blake saw Ryan as a protective force in her corner, reinforcing the idea that his support may have been more coerced than voluntary. With Ryan now seeking to remove himself from the lawsuit, the stakes have intensified, raising questions about whether Justin Baldoni was truly innocent all along and how voluntary Ryan's prior support really was. The saga underscores a tangled web of personal, professional, and legal conflicts, with Hollywood power dynamics and public perception at the center. Ryan's once perfect image as the devoted husband is now under scrutiny, and the narrative has evolved from a simple celebrity feud into a complex dispute involving allegations of bullying, intimidation, and strategic maneuvering behind the scenes. The implications of this lawsuit go far beyond the individuals involved, highlighting how influence, personal relationships, and media narratives can collide to create both legal and public relations nightmares. Fans, insiders, and the broader public are watching closely, yet the outcome remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that Blake's tactics, Ryan's involvement, and Justin's responses have produced a story far more complex than initially imagined. The mix of legal maneuvering, public statements, leaked communications, and personal accounts paints a picture of a tangled, high-stakes conflict where motivations, power plays, and reputations are all at risk. This saga underscores the fragility of public perception, the far-reaching consequences of celebrity influence, and the challenge of separating personal loyalty from legal responsibility. As the case continues to unfold, everyone involved remains under intense scrutiny, with every move magnified by the public eye.
His lawsuit won't hold up in court. He says him referring to Baldoni as a predator is constitutionally protected opinion. Blake's husband also rips Baldoni's lawsuit as essentially a burn book and claims Justin is trying to shame him for sticking up for his wife. Ryan, I'm still waiting for you to show us one single text message between you and Blake within the time of production that shows her distress, her discomfort, her pain, her suffering, anything. You're telling me your wife was being SH'd at work and you guys did not talk about it in text, in email one time? And I don't want to hear he was on set. He was on set a few times. There were multiple days of production where he was filming Deadpool and she was on set with Justin. You knew this whole time. You've been paying lawyer fees for
Word on the streets is that not even Blake Lively's husband is immune from her alleged bullying, as she is reportedly pressuring him to participate in her legal battles to bolster her public image. This isn't the first time Blake has faced accusations of being difficult or controlling on set. Rumors suggest that during the filming of A Simple Favor, Blake's behavior was so harsh that a former assistant eventually quit. The story resurfaced when assistant director Barbara Seaman shared her behind-the-scenes experience after Simple Favor star Henry Golding posted about the upcoming sequel. In the comments, Barbara revealed that she had walked away from the first movie because of Blake's treatment, noting that while working with everyone else had been amazing, Blake had made her quit as an assistant. Although Barbara later deleted the post, the internet never forgets. She received overwhelming support from fans, which prompted her to speak out further. Barbara admitted that Blake had been cruel to many on set, leaving her in tears on numerous nights because no matter how hard she tried, Blake was never satisfied and frequently put her down. Barbara emphasized that her experience occurred long before Justin Baldoni's involvement, suggesting a pattern of behavior that spanned years. She wasn't the only one to speak out. Multiple crew members have shared similar accounts. A former crew member on Gossip Girl described working with Blake as unpleasant, portraying her as a bully who treated the crew like children. If things didn't go her way, she would throw tantrums, act disrespectfully, and create a hostile work environment. The source noted that while other actors like Leighton Meester were approachable and friendly with fans, Blake's interactions with the crew were consistently negative, and she often manipulated scenes to assert control. Importantly, these testimonies predate Justin Baldoni's involvement, going back to 2010, indicating that this behavior was not an isolated incident. The consistency of these accounts across multiple productions and crew members points to a clear pattern. Baldoni's legal team has also claimed to possess evidence of Blake engaging in bullying, including issuing threats and attempting to dominate film productions. According to them, she often used intermediaries to deliver these threats and manipulate situations to achieve her objectives. Baldoni's legal team asserts that they will release all supporting evidence demonstrating a repeated pattern of intimidation and manipulation that confirms what many insiders have long suspected. These revelations, combined with first-hand accounts, illustrate a recognizable history of controlling behavior, highlighting how consistent reports from multiple sources converge on the same narrative. The documentation reportedly includes communications and interactions that reveal Blake's methods of leveraging her influence over colleagues and staff to ensure compliance with her wishes, reinforcing the claims of long-term bullying. This pattern of behavior appears to extend beyond professional settings, potentially spilling over into personal relationships, such as her alleged pressure on Ryan Reynolds to participate in legal matters. Taken together, these accounts, insider reports, and documented interactions create a comprehensive record suggesting that Blake Lively has consistently exhibited bullying, intimidation, and controlling behavior. From assistants and coworkers to even her husband, across multiple projects in years, a trail of corroborated experiences points to a systemic pattern of difficult and domineering behavior.